Kelvin fashion, he didn't keep his word on that. He'd rather spend that money on his side chick. Bought her a Ferrari as a push present, but that car, according to the Daily Mail, got repossessed the day after Wendy announced the divorce. You know you can't afford those type of
work with your husband, because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
Sharina Hudson has officially turned on Kevin Hunter, and Wendy Williams' money is at the center of it all. Now that Wendy is preparing a return to television, Kevin is suddenly trying to get back into her good graces. And here's the twist. Sharina and Kevin have fallen out so badly that she's determined to make him suffer. She's even claiming that if Wendy ever reunites with Kevin, she could lose total control of her finances for good.
Wendy Williams' husband has filed a $260 million lawsuit claiming that Wendy is being held against her will in an illegal guardianship, has caused all sorts of financial and emotional damage. Problem is, he's divorced from her, and she doesn't like her much.
No, it was not a great divorce.
She didn't like him much.
And even though she's had to pay him out a whole lot of money over a lot of years, she doesn't want him a part of this, and you know this straight from the source.
Well, I know it straight from the source because before I talked to the source, meaning Wendy, it was just apparent to me. I mean, he's filing this as Kevin Hunter, her friend. I mean, when does a friend have standing to file a 200? She had no idea about this lawsuit.
Right now, it seems increasingly likely that Wendy Williams could be released from her restrictive guardianship at any moment. It's important to remember that the primary reason she was placed under this arrangement more than 3 years ago was an initial diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia. However, recent developments have raised serious questions about that claim. Wendy reportedly underwent new medical evaluations, and the results showed no evidence that she has ever suffered from that condition. Instead, some reports suggest her earlier state may have been linked to temporary factors, not a long-term illness. If that's the case, then the legal basis for continuing the guardianship becomes extremely weak. Adding to this, her current management team has stated that Wendy has been making steady progress and showing signs of improvement. Meanwhile, Debmar Mercury, the production company behind her former show, has consistently left the door open for her return, making it clear that she would be welcomed back whenever she feels ready to work again. Whether people love her or criticize her, there's no denying that daytime television hasn't felt the same since Wendy stepped away. Her unique voice, bold commentary, and unapologetic style created a space that no one else has truly been able to fill. If she does make a comeback, it could mean a major financial opportunity, not just for her but for the networks involved. Interestingly, with Sherri Shepherd reportedly losing momentum and her show no longer dominating the slot, there's speculation that a valuable opening in daytime TV could be available. Many believe Wendy would be the perfect candidate to reclaim that space, making her return even more significant. And right on cue, Kevin Hunter has re-entered the picture. He's now suggesting that Wendy needs someone she can trust during this transitional period. And, according to him, who better than her former manager and ex-husband? But this claim hasn't been received well by the public. After all, Kevin's past actions are hard to ignore. He maintained a long-term affair, had a child outside their marriage, and allegedly continued to seek financial support from Wendy even while she was going through serious personal and health struggles. Over time, Kevin has made several attempts to reinsert himself into Wendy's life, particularly when it comes to her finances and decision-making. He has publicly positioned himself as her protector, even going so far as to file a massive lawsuit claiming the guardianship was abusive. In that filing, he requested to be appointed as someone who could manage her affairs. However, the court rejected his efforts, with the judge making it clear that Kevin was not a suitable candidate for such responsibility. Still, his persistence hasn't gone unnoticed. Reports suggest that he may be trying to reconnect through their son and any remaining emotional bond Wendy might still have. Some insider claims even hint that Kevin's recent interest in reconciliation could be influenced by his own financial struggles. Whether that's true or not, one thing is clear: if Wendy does regain full control of her life and career, the people around her will matter more than ever.
Shout out to my husband. I'm still wearing my ring. He's my best friend, he's my lover, he's all this and he's all that. I know what you've been seeing, and I knew what the streets have been talking about.
Wendy Williams set the record straight on reports that Kevin Hunter had a years-long affair with a massage therapist.
Still very much in love with my husband, and anybody who's been married for 5 minutes or 500 years, you know, marriages have ebbs and flows. Marriages are not easy. Don't ask me about mine until you see this gone. And it ain't going anywhere.
But from what Sharina...
According to Sharina Hudson, reconnecting with Kevin Hunter could be one of the worst decisions Wendy Williams ever makes in her career. Sharina claims she understands Kevin's true motives because she was once closely involved in his life. She was reportedly introduced to him through Charlemagne Tierche God during the time he and Wendy were still working together. At first, everything seemed promising. Sharina had ambitions of becoming a chef and expanding a food truck business, but Kevin allegedly convinced her that he would fully provide for her, and for a time, he did. She lived a lavish lifestyle, with cars, jewelry, and even a home, all reportedly funded through Wendy's earnings. Some reports also claim that when Kevin didn't have direct access to enough money, he would allegedly sell or take Wendy's belongings without her knowledge to maintain that lifestyle. Unfortunately, Wendy is said to have trusted Kevin deeply, which may have made it easier for these actions to go unnoticed. Even in situations where things might have seemed suspicious, Kevin had legal safeguards in place. He could argue that assets were shared marital property or claim Wendy had given consent during moments she might not clearly remember. There were also allegations surrounding a charity connected to Kevin, which some believe was used improperly, though such claims remain controversial. During this time, Sharina reportedly remained unconcerned about Kevin's relationship with Wendy, believing his promises that he would eventually leave his marriage. However, as years passed, approaching nearly a decade, those promises began to feel uncertain. Doubts started to grow, and what once seemed like a guaranteed future began to look far less secure.
She is tired of hiding the relationship, okay? She's tired of being a side bitch. She's tired of having abortions and shit like that. And she just wants Wendy out of the picture so that she can live her life out and free with her man and not have to sneak and meet Kevin in random places.
Reports suggest that Sharina Hudson experienced a complicated and deeply troubling relationship with Kevin Hunter long before the public became fully aware of their situation. It has been alleged that Sharina became pregnant multiple times during their relationship, and each time, Kevin insisted on keeping it hidden to avoid exposing the affair to Wendy Williams. These claims, while widely circulated, remain unverified, but they paint a picture of a highly secretive and controlled dynamic. At one point, Sharina reportedly attempted to force the truth into the open by leaking a photo of herself and Kevin on vacation to a media outlet. She believed that going public would push Kevin to finally end his marriage and commit to the future he had promised her. However, this move allegedly revealed a different reality. Instead of following through, Kevin appeared more focused on maintaining his existing lifestyle, which was largely supported by Wendy's success. According to these accounts, he had no real intention of leaving his marriage and instead continued to make promises to keep Sharina invested. There were also claims that Kevin manipulated public perception by spreading stories about reconciling with Wendy, possibly in an effort to influence legal proceedings or delay their divorce. For Sharina, this period reportedly marked a turning point, as doubts about Kevin's intentions became impossible to ignore. When financial support began to dwindle and their relationship grew strained, she considered stepping away and returning to her family. More serious allegations have circulated as well, including claims that Wendy may have been mistreated or controlled during her marriage. Some reports even suggested possible health-related concerns, though these remain highly controversial and unconfirmed. Past rumors of conflict between Wendy and Kevin have also surfaced over the years, but many of these stories were never substantiated publicly. Now, with Wendy potentially preparing for a comeback, many believe it is crucial for her to move forward without reopening old chapters. While opinions on Sharina Hudson remain divided, some see her recent stance as a warning shaped by personal experience. Others argue that both parties share responsibility for the past. What is clear is that Kevin's actions have drawn significant criticism, and public sympathy largely leans toward Wendy as she focuses on rebuilding her life and career. As discussions continue, many fans are asking the same question. Should Wendy keep her distance from Kevin for good?